Hello learners and welcome to U.S. History Reconstruction to Present. We are currently on week 23 and you are completing units 7.16 to 7.19 as well as 7.23 and 24. So we are entering Vietnam as America. It was the first televised conflict, which also caused a lot of controversy because many people were opposed to the war, sending young boys over to war. It's something that we did not need to get involved in, didn't need to be a part of, many people felt. And then there were people on the other end that felt that it was going to stop communism and that it was doing good. Checks and balances, a project you're doing, a quiz on setbacks and advances, and then you're going to take a review and complete your test. So 2 to 3 assignments per day will definitely do it. The learning target is I can explain the events leading up to America's involvement in Vietnam. So why exactly did we get involved in this? Why did we get involved in something that is nowhere near us? So you're going to learn about, why did we enter this? Why did we stay? It was America's longest war. We were in it for a very long time, and you're going to learn all about that, as well as the impact that it had on our society as a whole. Okay, so this is one of my most favorite movies about Vietnam. This is just a clip with Robin Williams, one of my favorite actors. He has since passed away, but he did this movie, a lot of improvising and things like that. It is rated R. It's suggested for ages 15 and higher, which is what a lot of you are, because obviously it's about war. There's going to be things in there that are controversial. Okay, so let me just show you. This is how he starts he's a news broadcaster, does some radio. This is how he always begins his newscast every time he starts.
Good morning, Vietnam!
Okay, and I could just listen to that. How about one more time? Over and over.
Good morning, Vietnam!
Okay, so his job was to come in and, be entertaining for the troops. They would listen to it when they were outside and, just to be, overall kind of funny. And he kind of takes it to the next level. So if you are allowed to watch it, Good Morning Vietnam is one of my favorites, like I said. So why don't you take a moment and ask you to think about your thoughts on the Vietnam War. It's okay if you know very little about Vietnam, as this is a topic, obviously, that we're going to focus on this lesson. I also want to take a moment and share with you this chart. It's the Random Selective Service Sequence, also known as the Vietnam Draft Chart. I believe it was about 25% of soldiers that were sent to Vietnam were drafted. Okay, so the United States had to enact a draft and they had to draw numbers. Okay, so if you look up here, it's pretty simple to see. You have the number, or the months on the top and the days on the side here. And my father was actually drafted for Vietnam, and you can see here. So October 26th, he was actually number 7, which was kind of crazy. So he decided that instead of doing the Army, which was extremely dangerous, he decided to sign up for 4 years in the Navy. And so he was on a carrier where the planes went on and off on, and he actually never saw action, but he would send the planes over to Vietnam and then they would come back. So he was on the carrier off the coast of Vietnam for, I think it was about 2 years, and then he was stationed in other places for the next 2 years because he was drafted towards the end of Vietnam, because that's when they did the draft. Okay, and here's a picture of him. Okay, so Vietnam, I could go on and on about all of the resources involved, but I want you can look at the Vietnam lotteries to learn a little bit more about it and how we got involved and why we stayed involved. And you can also read the Vietnam War from history.com and watch the introductory video. And as you read, take note of America's involvement in Vietnam and what it really meant to America as a whole. You can also watch the video Vietnam War, history and key dates, the draft, the origins of the Vietnam War, and the draft Up in Flames. So this will also show you, like I said, the other side of the Vietnam War. Like I said, not everybody was in favor of it. They saw their brothers and their sons, going off to war, not coming home, and felt that we should definitely get out of this war. There's a Vietnam quiz. And after examining the events leading up to the Vietnam War, as well as the impact it had on the United States and American society, tell me what you believe this political cartoon represents. Be sure to Examine the steps and notice what awaits at the top as a soldier enters Vietnam. So you kind of see the steps here, and then you see there's no more steps. And it appears to be very, very cloudy. So kind of think about that. What is he going into? He's going into very much the unknown, not knowing who's the enemy, not knowing what's going to happen. Okay, there's a Vietnam test there. And then you're going to write a journal entry putting yourself in the position of having been drafted. You're going to express your feelings towards this call of duty. And you can also share whether you believe you would flee the draft or serve, because there were people they called the draft dodgers, and people who would flee. They would go to Canada or try to find a way to get out of serving in the military. Okay, and then hopefully you'll have some ideas that have changed, some things that you've learned. You can reflect. Okay, so any questions or concerns, please reach out to me. And if not, you have a wonderful, productive week. Thank you.